Okay, but I'm doing something, so I don't want anybody here. Now we are explaining the knowledge furthermore. In fact, the operational diagram of the Supreme Assembly is a double pyramid. That is down pointing and up pointing pyramids. Please draw below. So we saw that yesterday. Here, from the single common channel of both of the pyramids, 6 plus 6 equals 12. 12 wise ones give service. Each channel is a commission constituted of 12 wise ones. Okay, so that was from yesterday. 6 of these 12 wise ones are responsible entirely for transmitting the religious enlightenment. The other 6 give universal knowledge. In this operational diagram, the O to the power of 1, that is the almighty energy focal point, seen in both of the pyramids, is the energy of the same focal point. Go ask Muna for some. This is for Dad. Go call Muna. Now we are transmitting the knowledge of the down pointing pyramid to our friends who have achieved religious fulfillment. So now we are transmitting the knowledge of the down pointing triangle, the down pointing pyramid, to our friends who have achieved religious fulfillment. For us, all the friends who have received this knowledge are each a sage. Now we will mention ascension to you parallel to the knowledge we have given you about the Supreme Assembly. So that was from the Supreme Assembly. The energy, if my house is too loud, let me know and I can come back another time. Give me a second. How'd you pause a live? Get this. 1 second. Let me see. All right. Are we looking? The energy diagram of the pyramid. So the first triangle 1, 1, 1, 2, 2, 2, 3, 3, 3, 4, 4, 4. The first triangle 1 plus 1 plus 1 equals 3s. They are the direct missionary of O to the power of 1 Almighty. The second triangle 2 plus 2 plus 2 equals 6s. Celestial missionaries, dimension beyond religion. The third triangle, that the actual focal point entering the cube system. Third triangle, 3 plus 3 plus 3 equals 9. Divine channels, divine order establishes. Fourth triangle, 4 plus 4 plus 4 equals 12. The actual responsible ones of the Supreme Assembly. So, the 3s in the first triangle of the prismatic system, the fundamental indivisible whole, spiritual energy. Okay. The 6s in the second triangle, celestial missionaries beyond religion, saints, prophets, and direct missionaries. The 9s in the third triangle, those who organize the divine plan of the divine channel, sacred books. The 12s in the fourth triangle, the actual staff members of the cube system, focal point projectors of the divine order, the Supreme Assembly. The triangles after this convey the actual operation focal points of the divine order onto you. This is how we receive enlightenment. This is how we receive our books. This is how we receive downloads. This is how we receive our prophets. The triangle clusters from the hierarchical order. However, the first 4 triangles are the actual focal points in the hierarchical order. Each triangle has 3 channels, both in the divine and the social orders, and each channel has 3 projection systems. These are the 3 channel knowledge, giving us knowledge of religion, of learning, and of philosophy. Everyone is connected to these channels in accordance with his or her frequency height, and they assist each other instinctively in the social order through their private channels. Draw the focal reflections of a triangle schematically. Now, this is a bit complicated. I'm just going to have to show you. Sorry. Uh-oh. Got it. Thank you. Jeez. Come off. How do you just show up and not leave? I said, got it. You're not going with got it either. Sorry, something just popped up. It says live goal background, and I don't know how to remove it. Lord Almighty. When that happens, but I'm still gonna try. But yeah, it's hard. The actual knowledge output channel, main triangle, projection points, channel of learning, 2, channel of religion, and 3, channel of philosophy. These 3 channels right here. I don't know, it's hard to see. I'm so sorry. God, goodness, something is stuck on my screen. Really? Today? And it's not even letting me go off at all. Oh my days. Okay. Sorry. I'm back. I'm just going to show you this before I shrink it. So the actual knowledge output channel, right? This is coming to us. So the channel of learning, the channel of religion, the channel of philosophy. So the first output from the triangle is the knowledge of the actual focal point. This reflects from 3 branches as the knowledge of learning, religion, philosophy. These are also divided into 3 channels, so there would have been more. And then divided ones again are divided into 3 branches and are projected on you in this way. This is a very hierarchical order. The initial channel is the essence knowledge. As the knowledge grows in number, interpretations also grow in number, and the genuine knowledge loses much from its essence. This is the reason why the hierarchical order has been abolished. Now, the essence knowledge is being projected directly from the direct channel, Supreme Assembly. So, remember, I don't know if you remember, but before information is sent down to us, whether it's a religious book or whatever, it would go through like emissaries. It would go through the 7. At the beginning when we started reading, there was like the 7 um channels. It was like, I can't remember which chapter it was, but it was like, I forgot, but it was 7 channels before knowledge got to us. And they're saying that lots were lost in that transmission. So in this period of resurrection, for this knowledge book to get to us, all the emissaries were removed, and it was directly projected on us to like one individual. I believe that's Mr. Fumola, and then straight down to Mevlana, dear Mevlana. So now I don't want to look like this, so I'm just gonna put something there. Screen. Okay. Let me shrink myself. Make my boobs. Right. All right, so alpha and beta are friends. Now we will explain in detail the unification of alpha and beta we have given to you before. As we mentioned, in 1984, Fascicule 6, alpha comprises the white color, that is religious purification, and space comprises the black color, beta, that is universal knowledge beyond religion. So alpha, religious purification, beta, universal knowledge beyond religion. In the normal dimension, the white color is the spectrum of 7 colors. So even though it seems white, it's a spectrum of 7 colors. In the second step, it becomes 14 colors. In the third step, it becomes 21 colors. According to your sacred books, the first step equals is 7 colors. It gives the knowledge of 7 channels. That is, it contains the knowledge of 7 terrestrial layers. The second step is 14 colors. It is ascension. It contains the knowledge of 7 celestial layers, performing the following calculation: 1 plus 4 equals 5. Here is the 5th dimension. So our celestial incarnations starts from the 5th dimension. The third step is 21 colors. Now perform the following calculations: 2 plus 1 equals 3. This is equivalent to the knowledge of 3 universal layers. This prismatic dimensional realm is the truth. Its manifestation is the human. The black color is the color of space. In it, there are 49 colors. That is, the unification of 49 colors provide the color and the intensity of black. So that's that. In here, every color has 1001 nuances, and each color, one by one, also has its special energies. Remember, color holds vibration and frequency as well. The sound tonalities of these colors bring the universal vibrations into being. So the 49 colors having 1001 nuances, and then each one of the 1001 nuances of color holds a vibration, and thus that is the actual source of the spiral vibrations, is the vibration of these colors. Okay, so the spiral vibrations is that sound that we hear, is the sound of space, is the sound of the universe. Okay, the 49 colors within this black color bring three layers from three emission centers into being. That is, the intense black color includes three sets of 49 colors, one on top of the other and one inside the other. That is beyond. The first 40, 1 second. Ibrahim, you're making noise. The first 49 equals divine waves. The second 49 equals celestial waves. The third 49 equals mirror of truth. Now perform the following calculations. Add up the three steps of the white color. 7 plus 7 plus 7 equals 21. Add up the results. 2 plus 1 equals 3. This very 3 is a symbol of destiny of your prismatic universe. Now calculate the entire black color and add up the threes. 49s. 49 plus 49 plus 49 equals 147. Remember, there's also 100. The unknown secret of the unknown name of the Almighty, the Absolute, holds 147 letters. So 49 plus 49 plus 49 equals 147. We have mentioned to you before that this resulting figure is the 147 names of the Almighty, the Absolute. In fact, this number 147 is the first code key of the cipher that mentions the 147 names of the Almighty, the Absolute. Each of these keys is connected to special energy channels. Okay, and each channel has 189 colors. Its energy is 99 megawatt power. Now multiply numbers 147 and 189 equals 27,283. Now perform the following procedure to the number obtained. 27 minus 28 minus 3. Sorry, 27, 28, and 3. 27 plus 28 equals 55. Add this up. 5 plus 5 equals 10. Add the number 3 to this. 10 plus 3 equals 13. The essence energy of the almighty energy focal point is 13. We knew that in the, I believe, Fascicule 4 onwards. As the essence power source is expressed by this indivisible number. Again, we end up with the indivisible power number of 13. And remember, on one side of the pyramid, O to the power of 1 is 1, and then there is the 6 apostle, or the 6 supremes and the 6 supremes, 12, 12, and then 13. And remember, us also forming our triangle, so our earthly body, our essence, and then O to the power of 1 forming also our triangle of knowledge, of attainment. So note, we have given the megawatt power mentioned above for you to understand. In fact, it has nothing to do with your megawatt power. Do not confuse them. 1 megawatt power mentioned here is equivalent to the energy of only one universe. So not this measle megawatt. This 1 megawatt that he mentioned, the 99 megawatts, one of it is equivalent to the energy of only one universe. I'm going to take you to the living room if you don't behave. Come on the bed. Come on the bed, or you go to the living room. Come. Come. Okay, you're not getting candy, and you're not going to get to ride your bike. Okay, but you're not behaving, so thank you. You want the pillow? Here you go. Hey, Missy. All right. So the ascension is happening quite fast. Today was, you know what has been happening to me? Normally, I'm not able to use the DMT, but recently, I have been just microdosing, just one pull. I don't know what's happening. It's like they're telling me it's okay, go do it. And so I'm sure very soon it's going to be like something else. But at the same time, I also feel like they're just making me, I don't know what they're making me do. I don't think it's to I don't know if they just want me to come, but in the past couple of days, I've been microdosing with a DMT and feeling really happy. But no, just saying. So the energy and the power units here are being interpreted differently. The dictated numbers have been prepared in accordance with your comprehension. If the energy of one channel is 99 megawatts, so that's one channel, 99 megawatts, and each 1 watt is the energy of one universe. Calculate the energy of 147 channels. So 147 times 99 gives you 14,476 megawatt power. That is 14,476 power of universes, right? This is 147 channel energies are tantamount to the energy of 14,476 universes. This number is the megawatt power of only one channel of the almighty energy focal point. So 14,476 universal power, right, is just one channel of the almighty energy focal point. This is how intense, like when a command is released. Remember, a command is not like a command is given, but it's knowledge that is released from the Almighty, the Absolute, to the entire universe. And then obviously we have to receive ours. So it has to go through these special channels, and it has to be like compressed in such a way that we can, receive this energy, this knowledge without being shaken. So all our religious books came from this kind of powerful focal energy. And then, of course, it had to be habituated to our perception power so that it doesn't shake us. But just imagine when we're fully open. Yeah, for sure. Just imagine when we're fully opened, right? Oh, man. Just imagine when you are directly connected to the source because you have the capacities, right? Because you have the incombustible energy, because or body, because you are like your perception power is habituated already to that frequency, and they open us up. Oh my days. So this number is the megawatt power of only one channel of the almighty energy focal point, and this is evaluated as a single essence source. In fact, there are 9,999 essence focal points feeding the actual focal point. Oh my gosh. If the energy of one essence source is the energy of 14,476 universes, calculate 9,999 essence sources. That is 144,745,524. Thank you, Theo. You're going to make me shy. This number indicates that the almighty energy focal point has a power equivalent to the energy of 144,745,524 universes. Can you imagine? This is our planet. And this is an electric pole over there. And if I touch this electric pole with an open wire, like if there's a wire open from this electric pole, I'm going to get blown up. I haven't even touched into the power within this planet if I was to consume it all. And then we haven't even talked about our galaxy. And then we haven't even talked about our universe. And we're talking about 144 million plus universes. Thank you. Thank you, Theo. Oh my days. Thank you. I appreciate that. Thank you. This is the energy amount. This is the energy. This is the frequency. This is the vibration. This is the energy amount that is being projected on us. And this is being, don't fly into the sun. I already flew to the sun. I told you. I just woke up in my bed. I just went into the bright light and I woke up in my bed. It was like, oh, that's the sun. Oh. And I was like, I'm going. And then before I knew, I was like, doop, back in my bed. So I don't know what happened after. Thank you, Theo. Thank you. I appreciate you. So perform the procedure to this number. 144. So 1 plus 4 plus 4 equals 9. 7 plus 2 equals 9. 4 plus 5 equals 9. 5 plus 4 equals 9. These are the nines written in the book of Islam. Oh my God, when everything connects, when everything is mathematical, when everything is calculated. Oh my days. Oh my days. This is this is our father. Courtney. This is our father. You know what upsets me too is that the education system literally holds less than 1% of the knowledge that the human being needs to even just tap into quest, tap into quest alone. Like they literally dump everything down. Okay. My husband always like has a problem with Western math because it doesn't make sense because he uses math, but in the Islamic calculation, right? So he can calculate everything. He can calculate why somebody's going through this. He can calculate the energies and certain powers that govern a certain country. He can calculate somebody all the way back to their first existence, and he uses the numbers of Allah. So he does not. Theo. Okay. But I already told them if they want to take me, they should just take me. They shouldn't have to let me go through DMT. But they have been making me more calm with DMT now. So we'll see what happens. Knowing me, I'm a rebel. Now that you said that, I'm probably going to be like, I'm not doing DMT anymore. Who knows? So if you put them all side by side, you get 9999. So 9,999. This much knowledge is enough. It is declaration of the center above the center. Listen, our creator is beautiful. Allah, oh, we love you. We are so like, oh my days. Look at all our existence. Like, look at all of us being here. Look at just this planet alone in this dome. Like, we cannot even comprehend the magnitude of information and spirits and everything that is here. We can't even comprehend. Just imagine the all that exists outside of the multiverses. Oh my days. And our ancestors? Really, Courtney? And our ancestors? Yeah, they send it to me on Pinterest. And our ancestors are like all transcended and they're all here, in your celestial forms, and you're all calling us because Allah said, call your children, call your brothers and sisters. It's time to get into the atomic hole. Oh yeah, so much fun. So no, the numbers, what was I saying? No, the above numbers are calculated according to the micron calculation and dimensional frequencies. The result is equivalent to the world calculation. Our friends, for the dictated writings to be comprehended better, let us explain a little more. The Supreme Assembly is a focal point projecting the hierarchical order. Its operational ordinance is connected to four knowledge channels. Each channel has its own field of emission in accordance with its coefficients. This is very profound knowledge. In this period of sincerity, there is no need for this. Each order has been rearranged in a comprehensible fashion. Now everything is gaining value in accordance with the purification of the essence. The three knowledge channels of the Supreme Assembly are under the supervision of 36 Supreme Ones. Okay? They deal with the enlightenment and suggestions of your religious books. The fourth channel is a gate opening to the cube system. Oh, the cube system has so much packed knowledge. The hierarchical order ends after the three knowledge channels. After this, religions are not valid anymore. You earn the right to receive the genuine knowledge. Your book that you call the Quran and the books of the Far East are not in fact religious books. They are books of learning and put me 20%. So our books are for what? Knowledge? Sorry, where did I miss that? They are books of learning and spiritual insight. And the Quran was revealed from the energy of the 18th dimension, which is in the final gate of the hierarchical order. So now we know where the 18th dimension is at. Since the society of that period was not on the required consciousness level yet, it was dictated from the ninth dimension. So this is how, like, when they transmit it and we're not ready for it, then they have to reduce the energy that is coming so that it doesn't blow our brain fuse, so that it can actually work. Otherwise, it will just be thrown away because nobody will understand it. So for this reason, it carries more supreme knowledge than the other books. Now we disclose to you this knowledge and the knowledge even beyond this knowledge from time to time. The knowledge in the focal point of Almighty, the Absolute, has directly been projected to the wise ones of the Far East. Now, the Far East, like we're talking about the Siddhas, the Buddhists, like they have tapped into something different. Like they have attained being centered and connecting to nature and source. Hey, Courtney. In order to be able to receive this knowledge, it is necessary to transcend the boundaries of the order of divine evolvement. This gate is the first gate opening up to ascension. After this, the boundary of supreme time extends interminably. The medium of immortality is beyond Karina. Karina is a gate of birth into the supreme time. We can summarize the given knowledge as follows. 36 out of the 48 wise ones in the Supreme Assembly are the responsible ones for the hierarchical order, and 12 of them are the projectors of the direct universal channel of the mechanism of the Lords. So the 12 receive it direct. So there's that one star, and then there's the O to the Absolute. So the one from Allah to that one star to the 12, right? But the 36 are for the hierarchical order and therefore like the enlightenment. The genuine tablet of God's decree begin beyond the knowledge of this channel, right? After the three knowledge channels of the hierarchical order, the cube system begins, and here religions end. Essences peak, the truth is attained. This is where we're going. Preeminent spirit. That was from the preeminent spirit. Preeminent spirit. I read about this in the Bible, but now I get to understand really what they mean. The 24 elders. Oh, so now we're going to talk about ascension. Our friends, first of all, ascension and dimensions are not a rank, a position. It is beneficial for you to know this. These are energetic fields to which your capacity triangle can extend. Okay? To which your capacity can extend. Your positions are determined by your deeds. So what we do, in the knowledge we gave before, we only considered the up-pointing pyramid for you to comprehend better, and we try to describe each triangle phase of it as a sacred book that was revealed year 1984, Fascicule 2. So in Fascicule 2, when they drew the triangles, they made us understand that it was the four orders of enlightenment. So like from Jesus with the Bible and then the Quran, etc. So that's what they talked about there. Now we take the two pyramids in hand. Look at the previous drawn pyramid diagram. Each triangle on the outer surface of the up-pointing pyramid constitutes the religious books revealed to your planet. And the triangles on the outer surface of the down-pointing pyramid comprises the universal knowledge of the plan. To learn the knowledge on the outer surface of each pyramid is the ascension of religious knowledge. So you attain religious ascension in this fashion. This operational ordinance is the same for all religions. These are the triangular faces of the pyramid. Now we know that the pyramid represented knowledge. We know from Egypt and the Mayans that the pyramids represented divine knowledge, right? Universal knowledge. So now if we consider both pyramids as a whole, right, the cube system, we call the transition from the up pointing triangle pyramid to the universal down pointing pyramid the ascension of thought. So you need to attain. So those two pyramids represent first religious fulfillment and then attainment of universal knowledge. That is when you get to enter the cube system, right? Which is like the sacred knowledge of the Almighty, the Absolute. This means that your speed of thought has gained the power of transcending universal dimensions, and this can occur only by religious consciousness. The genuine ascension mentioned in your sacred books is this. So remember, the religions were meant to not only help us attain God consciousness, so a mighty power created you and created all the things that you know, but also to let us know how to treat each other, right? To let us know how we can live in harmony with each other. But again, it got degraded, right? It got degenerated. But in order for you to obtain hua means there is nothing and there's everything. Hua means you're lost in the all. Hua means the nothingness and the allness. Hua means the atomic whole within the atomic whole. It's non-existence. Hua means there is no wrong, there is no right, everything just is. To attain, that is universal knowledge. That is ultimate God consciousness. To attain that kind of knowledge, however, you need to know how to deal with all that is. Otherwise, you can just kill somebody and say, all is one. We exist and we don't exist. So for us to attain that kind of knowledge, we first need to know, we first have to learn how to relate to each other, how to be disciplined, right? The laws of living with all creation. So it says, if we summarize, religious ascension equals religious fulfillment. Universal ascension equals consciousness. Hi, Kay. You can receive the universal knowledge from the direct channel only after this. Our love is upon the entire universe, Supreme Assembly. So it is general message, our friends. The knowledge you receive is nothing but a mirroring of a certain system onto you. Besides this, knowledge we give has been specially prepared according to the capacity, consciousness of cosmic awarenesses. In this period that you are in, one can neither enter nor receive knowledge from the particle system constituted by the direct energy section within the field of influence of the vibration of the almighty energy focal point, that is Allah. So in this period you're in, one can neither enter nor receive knowledge from the particle system. So now we know that there's something called a particle system constituted by the direct energy sections within the field of influence of the vibration of the almighty energy focal point, that is Allah. So we cannot receive knowledge from there yet. From time being, we are obliged to keep it out of the field of influence because it's so powerful. We presume that to examine the particles of time that have undergone the time progresses will assist us in our future work. At the moment, the power we possess are insufficient to open, even partial, the universal gates where an advanced technology supervision remains helpless. So they haven't even been able to tap into certain knowledge called, what was it called again? The particle system. Like atomic, like particles, that holds some knowledge that is beyond creation. So yeah, they haven't attained that knowledge yet. But again, remember, knowledge is interminable. Y'all. How are we? Is that what it's saying? I have no idea. But yeah, so that is the particle system. This is what CERN is trying to do, but you're so foolish, right? This is the God particle that they're talking about. So for the time being, we are obliged to keep it out of the field of influence. We presume that to examine the particle of time that have undergone the time progresses will assist us in our future work. At the moment, the powers we possess are insufficient to open, even partially, the universal gates where an advanced technological supervision remains helpless. Life is going on in accordance with the data obtained from mediums where solar systems have expired, where universes have lost their spinning speeds. What? For now, the calculation of the cosmos is being made by quoting the universal scores. For the analysis of the energies carried by each mode of light, we have reached such unknown and unthought of results that according to this view, it is presumed that only our thoughts have brought us into existence. The universal dimension of the thought frequency is shifting towards the infinite. Even though no particle energy is able to enter the thought frequency that arrives up there, we have come across mental vibrations here in the researches carried out. So, wow. So even though no particle energy is able to enter the thought frequency that arrives up to here, we have come across mental vibrations. Wow. So with a logical calculation, this should be impossible. Here, the automatic logic is rendered ineffective. The calculation of this, so they're just basically saying that, hey, you see what you don't know that we know? There is something that we cannot even go close to knowing. Okay, so we're seeing our celestial family like, damn, they're traveling space and time and all that stuff, and you know they have reached certain places where, like, even galaxies don't exist. But beyond that, there's something that they can't even touch, they can't even comprehend, they don't even have the technology to know, and they're so progressing in this manner. I'm gonna put something. Hey, I got pictures the other day. Where are they? Mhm. Okay. So the calculations of this received knowledge is out of the numerical sequence of the plan. They don't even have numbers for it. The surprising thing is that life is continuing through thought forms in mediums in which thing is that I thought I put it on, it's on do not disturb, but yet a call still came through. So the surprising thing is that life is continuing through thought forms in mediums in which no energy is present. We obtain this knowledge by analyzing the particles of light. Maybe in future, quite different operations will be carried out. Our love is upon the entire universe. So they're still in search. Inner vision. Yeah. They're still in search. And remember, Allah is as close to you as you can comprehend and as far from you as you cannot comprehend. So it depends on you. So that was message from the center. Note, immediately after this message was given, the preeminent spirit got in touch with me. That was Jeremy Flana. Explanation. The spiritual plan encompasses more advanced dimensions than the divine mechanism and the mechanical system. So that's the spiritual plan. Knowledge given from the center is conveying to you the outcomes of technological research and operations considered necessary by universal laws. Such operations are nothing but a mirror image of the advanced technology on you. You accept them as progresses on the path of learning. We are the pores that take under supervision the life particles with cellular brains. Beyond the essence focal points of the energies which exist and which bring into existence beyond voids prevalent out of the mediums mentioned above. The knowledge we give to you is given from beyond supreme times in which you presume that no energy exists. The reason we have contacted you is to complete the gaps between knowledge. How the source of knowledge is, let us say in your words, the energy particles, right? Remember, this is what CERN is trying to do. Okay. However, in mediums where these energies end, data you call learning and science are terminated. So there's a place where, like, none of it even exists. Energy particles, brain, none of it. Thought frequency, learning, science, none of it exists. The actual cycle begins after this. What will you do with further knowledge? Convey to your friends only this knowledge, little girl. We will be together when your universe stops anyway. That was from the preeminent spirit. Note, you will enter different cycles as time goes by. In the knowledge you receive, we will mention mediums unknown to you. These writings are given to satisfy curiosity. The one who lives, sees, time vanishes, life goes on. Preeminent spirit. We never stop existing. Who's that saying, was that an insult? Amuk? I don't know. Okay. So the one who lives sees, third eye, time vanishes. So you're not bound to time, you're not enslaved to time. And then life goes on because we reincarnate and we're immortal beings. All right, Fascicule 17, y'all. Maybe I should charge my phone so that we can get through Fascicule 17. Or we can continue another day and we can chat until my battery dies. There's so much things to talk about too. You didn't feel nothing bad. Oh, Bilkis, can you give me my charger? It's right there. Should I continue reading or do you guys want us to touch base on what's going on in the world? The revolution will not be televised. The revolution and the evolution will not be televised. Yes, darling? Your what? Strawberry? Sorry, I'm going to take off my microphone. Okay. Am I still here? No, I don't need to go. And the only thing, and I was the only one reading. Oh. Yeah. So many stuff is going on in the world. Oh my days, oh my days. Oh, my phone is on charge, so I can keep reading. We can talk for a little bit. Good evening, Prince. How are you? Oh, this person, can we not have low vibration stuff, please?
Yeah.
Yeah, my daughter said yeah. I'm glad you're doing great. Does anyone have like a timeline of when the solar flash is coming through? I mean, we have been receiving a lot of CMEs. Thank you. Thank you.
Go.
You're the best. Okay, now go lie down and watch thing with your sister. Great, I'm glad. Yeah. You love her until she doesn't live with you and bother you 24/7. Isn't it amazing? The day and time that we're in. It's crazy because like the book is literally saying, should I read the part that I am at, which is not too far from where we're at? Like the book is saying that our planet has reached its final evolution. Oh, that sounds good. Yeah, it won't be televised. This is why we all eventually, you know what? I predict that they will try, because of the unity that is happening in social media, they will try to actually shut down the entire internet system, thinking that it will affect us. And they will try to have people locked up in their house, and the TV will be literally like projecting all this fear stuff. When they do that, I predict two things to happen. Oops. Hey, Priest, if you want to come live, you can. Yeah, there's a secret. The war is the war on consciousness, right? Yeah. So I predict that if they try that, where they shut off the internet and they have us locked in the house, and then the TV is the only thing, our source of information, I predict that something catastrophic is going to happen. What's going to happen is, one, all of us are going to say F this, and everybody's going to barge outside, because they will try to keep us in when the solar flush happens, because we're going to all attain our higher self and our memory. So they will definitely try to keep us in if we have not overcome them through the law of mentality. Okay, if we have not already overcome them through the law of mentality, which means if we have not rise up above their frequency of influence, right? So either one, we're all going to say F this, and we're all going to barge outside, and we're all going to be in communication with each other, and we're all going to be receiving this karmic race. Or the second one is, you know how the book says, and we know all the religious fulfillment, Allah helps the genuinely depressed person. If we get to a stage of, what's that word? Like complete and utter oppression that we're so fed up with, like we're done. You know what I mean? If we get to that place, we're gonna internally activate, like full on, our DNA and our pineal full on, and we're gonna all somehow connect telepathically, and we will not even know that we actually left the earth. Like this current earth. I predict those two. Either way, all I say is that whatever they plan to do is only, like I said, right? We don't hate anything that they do, because everything that happens is just for us to like leap over the threshold in order for us to attain our next level of evolvement. So anything they do never really like do like, it doesn't affect me negatively. Like when they planned COVID, yeah, let's raise the roof. Exactly. We're going to be telepathic. Yeah, makes me more eager to to study and raise the vibration. And we're going to stay inside with the candle, like Rob said. Yeah. Oh, you couldn't join his live today? It was amazing as always. The family just chatter away as always. You know, Rob's, like all of us, obviously, we're all connected to the source, right? But Rob has his vibration, you know, that carries his life on differently. So like how we just read that, you know, there's so many nuances of colors, right? Each one of us and our aura color and our spirit color just, you know, it just does that. Yeah, it is the first language, right? Like even now, when a mother gives birth, right? We literally have some kind of telepathy. Like all our cellular structure has telepathy with the baby. Like when you're outside and the baby's hungry at home, and then your breast milk starts leaking, your cells are so conscious and connected to the baby because they're literally linked, right? Even before the mother is fully like self-aware of everything, her cellular structure is very much, you know, connected. And then we do have telepathy and we do have clairvoyance. All of us feel that sense when we're like, oh, something is going to go down, just don't know what it is yet. Or when you say, oh, let me remove this from there before somebody trips, and then you remove it and then nobody trips because you removed it, right? But we all have it. We're just not all like super engaged with it yet, but we're getting there. It really just comes with conscious thinking and like centering, you know, not being influenced so much by other matters that does not help you progress, you know. It will be epic, Loretta. I cannot wait. I feel like we're all meeting through the dream state, however, but we quite don't remember and we quite don't know who we are because we have different forms over there. And because we have not been really habituated to each other's frequency and energy and nuance, we're not able to say that, oh, that's Missy. Oh, but like Missy, I caught her one time though. I caught her one time. Oh, milk. So I'm gonna other are starting to remember. I got to card readers and they are answering my questions by not. Yeah, a lot of people are starting to remember. Yeah, Wyatt, exactly. Yeah, because honestly,
I wake up extremely tired. And then I don't remember all my dreams because sometimes, I have to get up and like I have to just sneak into I'm in the divine love of Allah and do that mantra, for all of us. But I almost instantly have to just run into the kitchen to prepare the lunch for the kids and get them all ready for school. So I don't like really remember, but I'm gonna try to like section 10 minutes. Like 10 minutes is not gonna end the world. To try to remember my dreams. I only get a glimpse of it, and just when I'm about to hold on to one, it just disappears. I know, Missy. Hey, Shaima. Yeah, you too. But yeah, like the day and time we're in is just beautiful. Like all this knowledge that's coming through. A few, like even just 2 years ago, a lot of people would not understand what we're saying that is so common now, like the word ascension, essence gene, love and light, cosmic rays, solar flares. It's just becoming normalized. It's part of our vocabulary, and that means our cell structure is also vibrating to these words that we're saying now. Right? It means our cell structure is also waking up to these exact words. It's defining it. And if it defines it and it knows it, it becomes it. Yes, sometimes lately I'm hurting, pain all over. Yeah. But even with ascension, I'm loving the faces. Exactly. Candy. You're so alien. Sorry, I missed somebody. Oh, wow. Yeah. Exactly. Like I went through high school and living with my parents. My mom had to call me to my pastor's house. Like my mom told the pastor how I'm seeing all these weird stuff. And then so the pastor invited me over to the house and said, bring one of the books that you're reading. So I took one of the books and I was reading Dr. Malachi Z. York. And he just talks about the cosmos and how he's from planet Risk and all that stuff. And so I gave him one of the books. They looked at it. They didn't have nothing to say. They didn't say it was evil. They didn't say it was against God. They just looked at it and they knew. No, you're going to break it, Mama. But yeah, I went through those phases like a zombie because I didn't know anyone that could understand. And then after that, they gave me other people that were like all the people that literally got rebirthed during that phase. I'm thinking like 2000 and anywhere from 2006 upwards, or maybe 2005 upwards. Anywhere from that period, all my generation that switched, everybody was just different. Like the people that used to dress nice and worry about like makeup or worry about the boys that used to worry about the shoes they wear and all that stuff, everybody just went rogue. We're all just we just look like bums. Okay, we didn't even care about what we wear. We're just like no, something is missing, something is happening. We need to find our higher self. None of this matters. Like all these physical material stuff don't matter. And we were just young. We were like 17. And we were just rogue beings. Just rogue. We were just buying books, diving into books, discussing. Like we were just like going crazy. And it was the activation. Yeah, like anybody that is understanding this knowledge, this is your last incarnation. That's what I've been getting for the last 2 days. This is your last incarnation. Anybody that is able to accept this knowledge, this is your last incarnation. You have completed your evolution. And then a lot of us also are already completed and are sent here as essence genes to help with the ascension process of our brothers and sisters. And they said that we should stop using terrestrial. We should just call ourselves cosmic beings, because that's what we are. We live in the cosmos. Our planet is in the cosmos. We're created from the cosmos. Even though we're here in this 3D, every particle here is from the cosmos. So they said we should stop calling ourselves terrestrials and extraterrestrials. They said we're all cosmic beings. Exactly. Because it's the atomic unification, right? So they said everybody should be called cosmic beings, and that's it. Because once you start calling yourself cosmic beings and calling your brothers and sisters cosmic beings, guess what that does to your subconscious mind? It starts programming it, it starts defining it, and then it attains the codes of what it means to be a cosmic being. And then it starts restructuring your whole entire DNA and cellular system, and you start acting and being cosmic beings, because we are. This is words that have been kept from us, and now they're saying this is your identity. Transformation, yeah. Hey, Rob. Hey, Rob. Hey, Robert. Yeah, so they said we should stop using terrestrial and extraterrestrials, and we should start. It came to me a couple of days ago, but again, I'm so distracted that I just dismiss a lot of stuff. But yeah, they said call yourself cosmic beings, because that's what you are. And then your cell structure and your subconscious mind will assimilate this knowledge and will, engraft you to the frequency of that word, cosmic being, and you will become of such. So here we are, cosmic beings. Robert is in the house. So cosmic beings, from here on, if you're posting anything and you want to talk about our terrestrial brothers, pause, cosmic beings. Rob, the ferryman, right? And the infinite love and the infinite tolerance, like, you cannot deny it. It is happening. It is happening. I got a song that I got to put out next week. I'll let you know when it's out, when it gets on the platforms. But everybody also, they said everybody should tap into the art code. They said stop being rigid. Oh my God, they're doing me in on this live. They said stop being rigid, stop being stuck in one identity. They said spin around like the spiral vibrations and be all. They said tap into the art code and flourish there as well. It is part of you. That will bring you joy. That will release earthly stresses. That will bring your inner child out, they said. Did it cut out? But yeah, they said tap into the art code. They said live like the spiral vibrations. The whirling dervishes from the book. Oh, sorry. They said live like the art code. Yeah. They said everybody should tap into the art code. They said all science, all that exists is art. Mathematics are art. They said get back your inner child through the art code. Your divinity is in there. Your innocence is in there. In that place, there is no discrimination for you when you tap into your inner child. And you'll be able to attain the 3 flowers easier in that way. So they said be happy, but tap into the art code. Find your art. And swirl around like the whirling dervishes, like the spiral vibration. Spread yourself. I guess a lot of us have been very stuck. Like me, for example. Yeah. Oh, yeah? Okay, the Book of the Dead. Art code is language. Yeah, it is. Exactly. Tap into the love of art. I have that book. I don't know where it is. Yes. Create something. See how happy you'll be. A lot of our mental illness, and the book even says it, is because our higher self is not aligned with us right here. Once we're parallel to each other in evolution and logic with our higher self, mental illness and stress and all that stuff will be eliminated. One way to do that is through the art code. Because remember, they're healing us of all earthly diseases. And all illnesses are from the mind. Is our inability to connect to our higher self. It's when we're cut from source and we don't know ourselves that causes us a lot of mental illness and anxiety and depression. But once we know our higher self, we know who we are, we know our purpose, then we live accordingly, right? We know all that exists and all that is available to us. Yeah, I know, right? I'm sorry, Robert. Was it? Oh no, that was Omiak. Yeah, I understand what you're saying. Yes, Florida. But yeah, excellent, Theo. Yes, tap in there. Tap into the your essence childhood. Like tap into your inner child. That energy there. You know, that is when we're pure. We're pure when we first come here. Remember, we're going back and there's no discrimination, right? When we come here and we've not been in the turbid of this material world, there is no discrimination when we first come here. We're pure in that manner. So we're going back in the same way. The realm of colors, they said. Yeah, they're really on the art. They're on it because they know that it would release a lot of stresses and a lot of anxiety and a lot of depressions from you. That you find yourself in your art, they said. They said you find yourself in your art. You will find yourself in your art. You will know you found yourself when you feel the joy in your art. They said hold on to that joy. Wow, that's cool. The Shambhala. Shambhala is the center of the earth, right, Robert? My mad chemist. Yeah, that art, right? Mine is music and movies. Sometimes I wake up with songs. Sometimes I wake up with a whole movie. Like I literally watch a movie that I created in a dream. Okay? I watched a whole movie and I'm like, oh my days, I can't believe that was my movie. And I wake up and I remember to write the main points down and I could fill it in as time goes on. Sometimes I'm like, when the time comes, I'll get it. It'll resurface and I'll put it down. I'm not going to stress myself. But that's why I said, that's why I quit nursing, because I feel like I need to dive into myself. Like I'm an ocean of endless knowledge and happiness. And I don't want to be distracted by the 3D matrix. A lot of depressions come from the fact that people are so stuck in the 3D matrix and they're not able to align with their higher self because they're not able to even know that they have a higher self to search for. Right? Everybody's worried about bills and paying this and paying that and mortgage and all of that stuff. That disconnects us to our true self. That disconnects us to the quest, right? So I'm always like mentally projecting that all of that stuff. Yeah, realizing divinity, all of that stuff, all of this prohibition, all of these matrix of oppression gets done away with for all our cosmic families here. Because everybody needs to wake up. Because the moment we all wake up, the frequency just goes skyrocket. Yeah, it's depressing. That's why we have to really use our mental energy, right? To visualize the morals that we want. And in doing so, it's manifested. Because the matrix is projected on us by a group of individuals who literally project and plan for the oppression of the people. So we can also reverse that with the same mental energy, especially that ours is positive and freeing. The cosmos will definitely, because the cosmos are also working on the same agenda. So they want us to also assist them here. We're going to shut down the AI. And the rays that are coming through is going to like either malfunction the AI or something. I'm not even afraid of the AI. It will serve its purpose. Everything they create that they think they're going to use to harm us, at the end, it serves its purpose in our benefit. Just like they created social media. At the end, we're using it to connect to all of us and awaken all of us. At the end, they're also using it, our cosmic family is also using it to connect to us. So everything they create is because, remember, knowledge is one. So even though they think, oh, we're creating this to do this, they forget that they tapped into the beta channel, which is available for everyone that's able to go in and download. But they forget that there is no plan outside of the plan of the Almighty, the Absolute. So they think, oh, they're doing, and even the Quran said, when they think they have planned, Allah has already planned. Their plan is within my plan. So they don't exist. So they could be thinking that, oh, we're creating this to do this and to do that. No, your plan is within the plan of Allah. Like, it's just, Yeah, for sure. Really? I'll go. And are going to gift us whom are ready, for sure. I'm sure I can go in there and, yeah, for sure, Allah is our Father. I'm sure I can go in there and rewire everything. I have this thing, I don't know, I haven't used it in a while, but literally every job that I've ever taken, I create a ripple effect. Sometimes consciously, sometimes unconsciously. To the point where they have to fire me because I would change everything. And I did that with General Motors when I was their occupational health for the Canada location. Yeah. And they had to fire me because I was just changing everything. My vibration, and then my manager just hated me out of nowhere. But my vibration was just doing something else. Same thing when I work with the city of Hamilton. I did something there. I was telling everybody not to get the vaccine. Oh, and my job was to tell everybody to get the vaccine. I was saying the opposite. And they even wanted to give me higher positions. I was like, no, sorry, I don't work for people. I took this job because I thought I wanted it. Now that I'm in it, I know I don't want it. But I'm only here to serve my purpose. I saved lots of people. Alhamdulillah. Like I helped people. I was like, don't get the vaccine. Trust the universe. If you lose your job, the creator will provide for you. Your talent. Everybody came here with a talent. Everybody came here with a talent. It's not working for a corporation that makes you something. Everybody, when we came here, our creator gave us our hand gift, our universal talent to survive on this planet. You have left it aside and you're chasing somebody else's. That is why you're scared of losing your job, because you have not tapped into your talent. Your art is there. Don't be afraid to lose your job. Don't put nothing in your body. Your body's a temple of the Most High. And I was like doing that. I didn't get fired for that one. Right? Exactly. I didn't get fired for that one. I begged them to actually quit. And I was like, let me go. I only had a contract for 3 months. And then I was there for a year and a half. And I was like, no, I don't like working for that long. That was the last time I was like, I'm never. And I was working from home. And I was like, I'm never doing work again for anything else. Yeah, rocking that boat for sure. Light codes. Can you imagine when our world changes into these light codes on this background screen? Like, it's already here. It's just that our perception power has not been habituated, but it's already here. Like, when you take the DMT, you start seeing things like this everywhere. So it's here. It's just the perception, right? Yes, for sure, Robert. We should all work to support our own community. I'm a little wary. I was hospitalized and vaccinated, but I truly feel I was protected by the... Yeah. Remember, I think it was 1 in 3 vials had the virus, right? So, and then also because of your attainment of the cosmic rays, you can nullify the vaccine in your body. the more you ascend, because it cannot be habituated to high frequency. Remember, it's a low frequency item. It's meant to keep people in a low frequency. So as far as you're here, that means you're overriding the system. Snake venom poisoning, mRNA, trying to like cap the DNA and all that stuff, but it's not, like, clearly it's not gonna work because it hasn't, like, it's done. They're done. They're done. Look what happened. Look what happened when COVID came. Look what happened. Like, first they were able to keep us apart for a bit, and then out of nowhere there was a ripple effect worldwide, starting from Canada, States, Denmark. Everyone just came out. Listen, this was when I was like, telepathy is working. Like, this was when I was like, we are atoms and we can cause a friggin' wave just from the comfort of our own friggin' country. It was fantastic. That's why we will not listen to the government agenda or the news or the propaganda. Yep. They're realizing that nobody's listening to them and their fear tactics are not working anymore, so they're done. Remember what you always say? They could not have produced the amount of shots they needed in the time they had. No, yeah, for sure. And they prepared for a while, because there was this book, I don't know, either 60s or 80s, that had the COVID virus in there and when it would come out. But like I said, no plan exists outside of Allah's plan, right? And they only got people through fear. That's why the book always talks about eliminating fear, because if you're afraid of death, then when somebody offers you a poison to live, you would think that poison is going to make you live, right? So that's why we have to eliminate fear. Fear is one of like our most primitive and most blocking vibration that is there. Like, we cannot have fear. Fear is a big one that we have to leap over. And that's why the spirit molecule is so important, because what we all fear is death. We fear that we'll be hungry and die. We fear that we'll be thirsty and die. We fear that we'll live outside and be homeless and get some sickness and die. We fear that somebody will get hit by a car and die. We fear that lightning will strike. We fear that the volcanic eruption. Everything leads back to death. The spirit molecule makes you know that you're cosmic. It makes you know that when you sleep, you leave your body and you go places. It makes you know that your body is just a housing. Death is an illusion. Wow, Lysol? That's crazy. 2017 Lysol spray already listed COVID. Yeah, exactly. Even the reason why we say bless you when we sneeze is because we die the moment we sneeze. Here's a shocker. Zim still needing this journey? Zim? I'm sorry, let me fix my leg. Wow. Yeah, so if you hate being shocked, then you have to habituate yourself to what you hate being shocked by. You have to know it. Or shocked. You have to know it, then you will not be shocked. Oh yeah, time is not what we think it is. Hey Robert, you want to come live?
I'm thirsty.
I'm gonna send you an invite, Robert, whether you like it or not. I don't know how to do it. Damn it. Okay, call your sister to give you water. Host a live with others. Don't know how to do it. Damn it. You're lucky, Rob. Theo! Rob! You're my big brother in this world. Only because you're older than me. I don't know what happened to Theo's thing. Guests? How do you search though? Well, I've sent a couple of invites. Theo in the house, Rob in the house.
What are you doing?
That's exactly what he says when I place a call. What are you doing?
Hi, everybody. What's shaking? What's going on with you lot?
Ascension is going on.
Ain't that the truth? Every single day. The For Me page, you guys, of course, you realize that it is a For You page and it's all giving you information in regards to your personal spirit path.
Yeah,
Your level of understanding, it's not the same as what other people get, right? So
right.
it's all individual. That's why this exists. This whole TikTok thing is to give you a full on line of help when we're going through this ascension process. It's pretty fantastic.
That's beautiful. Yeah, that makes so much sense, right? Because
Yep.
our celestial family are way more technologically advanced. So there is foolish of us not to think that they would not be engrafting us through technology as well. It's foolish
Yeah.
that they would not be giving us ciphers through our own channel that we're viewing. Of
There.
course, until our pineal is fully open, that we're able to receive direct downloads.
That's right.
Wow,
You were
that's
saying
cool.
about you were saying about low dosing. Well, look at the picture that you're showing right now. If you were to low dose with your eyes open, staring at this photo, oh my God.
I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna do that after I get off this live. You know what? I'm not tapping into certain things. When they give me something, like this was from my Pinterest, like you sent me there. When they
Yep.
give me something, I don't use it right away, and then they have to kick my butt, like you're not listening. So
Well,
then
you're getting.
they have to bring you to tell me, hello, we're low dosing and we're giving you frequency, and you're not connecting the dots. Hey, Loretta.
Hello.
Loretta.
Hello.
Hi, Loretta.
Hello. Hi there, honey. Good to
Hello.
hear you.
You
Good to hear
too.
you too. Look at you.
I'm so happy.
I'm so I'm getting better at this because I've never gone live, and I'm getting better at it because
Yeah.
before I wouldn't accept. I'd just be. I think Rob was the only one I did because I went live with, but it was a
Yep.
short minute.
I
But
remember that.
It was a
thank
hot
you.
minute. Yep.
It was a hot minute, but it was short. Oh my goodness. Well,
Oh,
I've been doing that. I've been spinning 33 times counterclockwise. I haven't got up to 3 times a day, but you're supposed to hold your hands out like you're pointing at something, like you're pointing a gun together.
yeah.
I
Okay.
mean, that's a bad analogy. Shame on me. Just kind of like, just just put your hands together and point out. And then, and it's actually quite amazing how it makes you feel. It's
Right on.
like the momentum is insane. It is, but I can feel something inner changing, and it was something in the Egyptian, the Book of the Dead, that I read it in there, and that was something that they used to do back in the day for their meditating, where they would spin their 33 times the
Yes.
day before, and then they'd be aligned to meditate, I believe,
Wow.
in their in what they wanted to. They set a vibration bigger for other medicate for meditations, not medications.
For the medications to set in properly.
Yeah, there we go.
So you're saying we do our hands like this, but together, like the other hands join, like the gun sign.
Yes.
You know, the gun sign is actually it's actually the original symbol for peace, because it's actually the two fingers together, but they
Yeah.
lied to us and made it like this, which is separation,
Oh,
right? But
yeah.
All
it's
right.
actually supposed to be like that. But yeah, that
Yeah.
is cool. I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna teach my kids too.
It's absolutely it can't hurt us, you know. And I keep getting messages about spinning. Even on live, I watch a gal named. I encourage you guys, if you can, on Saturday at 1 o'clock or 2 o'clock, Forest Fairy Mary Moses and a gentleman named John Michael 111. It will blow your mind what he's learning, and the signs and synchronicities of the gematria and the Aztec calendar, and but he's actually said he's learning a formula that eventually, it's going to sound funny, but we could fly.
Wow.
Oh, I've heard that too before. Yeah, for
Yeah.
sure.
And if you have a chance
Oh, look
tomorrow,
at that.
he'll be on, and just he's very hyper, but he has knowledge that my brain don't.
Great.
Wow.
Incredible. Look at the view. Look at that view. That's
Wow.
incredible.
Trying to
Tirana.
get the sun in there.
Wow.
We're
How
reaching.
high are up you? How high are up you? That came out wrong.
How high are you?
Yeah.
I'm very high. Thanks for asking.
Robert is high.
That's funny. Now is that hi? How are you? Hi, how are you? Hi. I can't even get it out now.
Oh, you guys are adorable.
It's funny.
That's so fun.
Too bad we
So I
couldn't
guess
get Misty up here.
yeah, she's a little camera shy sometimes. I don't
Where
know.
is
We
she?
could always
We
ask
just
her.
need to
Hey,
hear her voice. How did I do this again? Lord.
I don't know. All I seen was accept.
Yes. Oh, there she is.
And I stood here contemplating.
should I
know
or
she's
should I
sad.
not? Okay, I'm going in. That's it.
Right?
When I
Got
touched it, I went, "Oh, did it take?"
It took.
It took.
Is that it's Theo?
There's
Theo
Theo.
is in the house. Come on
Hi,
in, Theo. What's
Theo.
cracking, man? Right on.
Hey guys,
Hi,
I
Hey.
love
Theo.
y'all, man. I
Hey.
fucking miss you, Robert.
You guys are awesome. Thanks, brother. Whoop, whoop.
Aisha, Aisha, listen, girl. You need to register. You need to ascend. You are a freaking oracle.
Yeah.
You, girl, do not fight it. Go with the flow. Let it flow. You
Do it.
are so important, woman.
Do it.
Oh, yeah.
Do it.
Do it.
Don't do that to me.
Telling you this because
You're
this
making
is
me
what
embarrassed.
all it tells me. All it tells me. He freaking drives my head crazy with these thoughts.
I'm sorry.
Y'all don't listen. Please.
I don't listen.
Oh, you have to listen, Grasshopper.
I
You
just,
listen
know
well,
what it is?
grasshopper.
My fear is
Do you drink the tea or do you eat the tea leaf?
right.
A little
You
bit of
chew on
both.
the leaf. You drink the tea or chew on the leaf. One of the two.
A little bit of both.
Yeah. Us
No.
hippies, we want to smoke everything though, so that's what makes
Yeah.
it challenging.
Hey, you know what? The shit that they got nowadays don't compare to back in the day when I was a boy, man.
no. Oh,
That's
no.
true.
There's nothing the same.
Panama Red would put you on the ground and your tongue would be hanging and all you could do is drool.
Good.
Where's the door? I've been here searching for a way out for 45 minutes.
For a corner in a round room.
It's like that song Wildwood Weed said. I don't know what happened. I just freaking reached down for a weed to chew on. Things got fuzzy, things got blurry, then everything was gone. All I remember is running around behind the little animals.
That's hilarious. And who did that to my tuba? Oh no.
Oh my goodness.
You got days that I don't even remember getting home. I didn't make it home a lot of times.
Wow.
Well,
Yeah,
see, if
I'm
I ever had those moments, that was when I would look down and pray I had my clothes on still.
Shit, I didn't care.
This isn't a familiar bed. Where am I? Holy
Yeah.
cow. What's your
Who's
name? Never mind, where's my clothes?
yeah. or whose lawn am I on?
Salon
I don't recognize that front door.
And I won't tell you where I found this lawn dart.
Yeah.
Oh
Oh my
God,
goodness.
we're we're supposed to be carrying a spiritual message here, babies.
I
I
heard
know,
you.
right? I
Yeah.
know, right?
Hey,
Oh, for
listen to
sure. I'll
this.
get.
Guys. Listen to this. Check this out. I went to cash my check yesterday, and there's this young lady I met about 6 months ago at my bank. They transferred her to a different branch. I ended up at that branch, and I wanted to talk to her about it. And I told her I wrote down the knowledge book and how to get to it and everything else. So all the instructions with doing the reset code and all that first and all.
Right?
And I told her that the $1,000 magic, and she looked at me like, yeah, right. So anyway, she takes a piece of paper, she sets it down beside her, and I told her, I said, no, you got to listen to this. I said, this is I need to check this out. She says, what is it? Just a book? I said, no, it ain't just a book. It is the book.
It
She
is the
says,
book.
wow. I said, do you really want me to tell you? She said, yeah. I says, it's about saving your soul, woman. It's the freaking living word of God. I says, now, I says, until you accept this, I says, you need to. And all of a sudden, the bank went dead. If the electronics flashed, everything went down. Nothing
Oh,
they would, nothing they could do could have brought it back up. And I looked at her and I told her, I said, I told you. I said, I did this. I said,
that's
now you guys,
amazing.
Oh,
you have to listen. And nothing worked until she picked it up. She put it in her purse. She says, okay, I'll look at it tonight when I get home. And just as soon as she
wow.
got everything freaking started working again.
Wow.
Incredible.
That's
It was
beautiful.
awesome. This woman looked at me with freaking tears in her eyes. I said,
Hmm.
Jeez.
I'm not telling you nothing that's gonna hurt you, girl. Got my money and out the door I went. She was
Something
smiling.
that's crazy. Something similar happened to me when remember Robert when I was supposed to go to Robin's group
Yeah.
and I didn't want to.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
And then I received a message that I should tell this lady that I should connect my aura, but I should read live so that the connection with the center would the frequency will be permeated through the live to the viewers that they'll bring, so that they can their frequency will be increased as well. And then I was like, I'm not telling Robin that. And
Yeah, right.
she's like, you know, Robin, how you getting me to tell her? Go tell her
I ain't
yourself.
talking to her like that. She'll chew me apart. Wow.
Yeah. And then when I didn't, I was like, okay, I bet you they're gonna shut down my car because I was supposed to go to her on Friday. I'm like, if I go to this group thing before I'm supposed to go on Friday, I'm like, they're gonna shut down my car. They're gonna shut down my car because I'm being stubborn. The next day, my car was shut down. It wouldn't start.
Wow.
Yeah.
Here's your
That's
sign.
why
And
you
then I
go.
ran and I called her. And then even though she denied everything I said, that's not what I'm supposed to do, I was like, okay. After I told her, my car started 2 hours later. I was like, well,
Wow.
and then I was still stubborn and I still went, and there was a friggin' snowstorm. Got stuck, was out of gas in the snowstorm on my way home, got stuck at the gas station because it was so piled up. They had to dig me out of the gas station. And I literally had like $5 on me to buy gas. I was like, yeah, I'm gonna listen from now on.
Say, honey, it
Oh,
don't need to
wow.
be that hard.
That's why. I
What
just
a lesson from hell.
Right?
Aisha, you need to register, baby.
Okay, okay, okay. Robert.
Hey, Robert,
What?
I want to tell you
Fairy
something.
man.
Check
What
this
did I
out.
do? I didn't do anything.
This is
You
your
didn't do
fault.
nothing. But listen to
Why do
this,
I get
though.
blamed for everything now?
Fairy man.
Today during your live, you were talking, and and then you were coming in clear, and then all of a sudden the freaking vibration changed completely, and you were like totally freaking clear, like you were talking solely to me, dude, on
Oh
some of the stuff
wow! Oh
about.
wow!
That's the first
That's
time it
incredible.
happened.
Yeah.
So
Wow. That's incredible. Remember, I took the son of Odin. I took him on for his journey, and he had to turn the phone over because that's how close we get to each other when we're traveling in the astral realms. By the way, so if you're going in, if you're chaperoning somebody into the astral realm, just be very aware that you are intimately connected with the people who you're serving. You know who you're going in with, and just make sure that all your thoughts are in line and you're not holding any kind of negative charges because of course they're going to feel that. You don't want them to feel that.
Yeah.
Mm.
You came here pure, you have to return back pure. So
So
every
it is.
pylon that we piled on here, we have to shed those layers and return back with our lightest, most purest form. No
Yeah.
negativity.
Courtney, you're adorable. There's nothing wrong with the way you're talking. You're beautiful, Courtney.
It,
Everybody in here, we've built this whole group of people that now we can kind of upscale the whole plan. And that's not just to read from the book. Of course, it's to understand what's written in the book. And with that basis, we can go further in our learning and advanced hidden mystery schools that are presented to you by your star friends. So it's not just the angelic realm. You've also got the jinns and
Mm.
the very helpful extraterrestrials that are from different worlds.
right.
It's very fantastic.
I got a question for you, Rob.
Giver.
Why do I always see the Grand Dragon every time I meditate?
Wow, that's a very good question. I always catch the end, but of course, I never looked at the treasure. I always looked at him in the eyes, so he gives me the pleasure of passage. I don't know why you would see him all the time, uh, but I definitely have seen the tail, and I think what it means. Uh, is the journey isn't it's on its way. You're finishing one segment of it and moving on to the next once you see the tail end of this dragon.
Well,
um
I've seen him in his entirety, and I don't
right.
want his treasure. I don't even freaking constant. I know the dragon has endless amounts of but treasure isn't my deal, dude. Money don't mean a dang thing to me. None of it does. I'm into the nothingness with all love, just nothing but pure love. So I kind of, I'm
That's
not sure.
interesting. That's interesting. You'd have to ask either Archangel Michael or maybe even Metatron. You'd have to ask the angel that you can hook up with. You don't have to be that specific, but as long as you look up some kind of angelic name and call them into your help, then they'd
They
be more
don't
than
talk
willing
to
to
me.
answer.
I keep walking past them to the freaking kingdom.
Oh,
They all
oh,
bow to. I don't know why.
Wow.
very
Freaks me out.
very interesting.
I've
I,
walked
I
out of darkness, complete darkness, with legions standing at attention to me. Not only the freaking archangels, but the tall grays and everybody else that I come in contact with.
very
That's
interesting.
phenomenal.
Robert,
Yeah.
I went to this place. It was extremely dark, and
Oh,
everything there was dark as everything there that was dark.
okay.
They were pretty dry, like, they were pretty dry beings. Everything was dark. Ground was as dark as the individuals. Houses was as dark as everything was dark. I don't even know. You could only see like a shimmer of the darkness, like they were so dark that silver was glowing on them. I got scared. I was the third, so there was two other people on my side, and I started reciting some things because I got scared.
Yeah. That's
Wondering where
instinctive,
that
of course.
place is.
Yeah. This area that you go into, I've been there several times myself on a few journeys of mine, and you can describe it as a kind of a static zone. Uh, there's an element of fear because you're not sure.
Yeah.
You don't have all the answers. And this is what the owl shows us when we're going up to the dimensions that we know nothing about, is that you will always have that guide who is tethered to you, which would be, in my case, the owl that is transferring my consciousness to this 3D realm to the fourth and fifth. As all of you as well have a spirit animal that does that for you. You just haven't noticed it yet. But what the lesson is, uh, you are very safely guided with your tether to a guide that will ultimately help you understand eventually. So that it should give some kind of comfort, because everybody has seen a spirit animal in one time or another in their life. Whether or not it's your very personal one or not is what you're going to find out when you start traveling. But everything's for a very much deeper lesson. So if you're seeing yourself flying around in a dream, maybe you just didn't notice the fact that you've got a hand on a cord that's tied to something. Because you're just not paying attention. It's like the outer body visits where we're leaving our bodies on the couch, and sometimes we don't even notice that we have a body because we never look back to even notice that we're outside of it. It's just perspective.
Last time I saw the blue being from the religions of the Far East. I don't know the name if it's Krishna or Vishnu, but the blue one. That's all I can say. The blue one,
I think it's
all the way up
Krishna.
there, and he was in a meditative state, all quiet and blue and nice and
Blue.
peaceful.
Cute. I had a run-in with Krishna. That was the meditation that they gave us. First of all, Kleng Krishna Kleng. And if you say that meditation, Kleng Krishna Kleng, Kleng Krishna Kleng, Kleng Krishna Kleng, Kleng Krishna Kleng, you could time it any way that you want, and it pretty much puts it into a pattern. But that resonance, that frequency, by those words, it opens up certain aspects of this, and they actually count how many times you say that, by the way. It
Wow.
was very, yeah, it was very startling when I noticed that they dropped me a note saying, okay, you've reached 10,000 times. You don't have to say it anymore. Oh, okay.
Oh, wow.
Cool.
Hmm.
So, Robert, do you go by any other means except for DMT?
I've tried, I have tried mushrooms before, but they just make me stupid. I'm just not going to do that. Apart from that, there was ecstasy, a little bit of ecstasy when I was younger, but that never really got me any closer. It was all just very disturbing, and there was a lot of gut wrenching side effects. So for me, the pot, the weed, uh, there was a time that I went through this really self destructive stage with the alcohol, of course, but and we realize how grounding that is and why they're called spirits and all of this kind of stuff when you're drinking
Mhm.
alcohol. What I can tell you is by stopping that, by cutting that out of the diet, I think that was the best thing I've ever done for the benefit of mankind.
It's true. It's, it's true.
That's funny.
Everybody's happier because I ain't drinking because I get very cynical and very angry and very upset. So it's just a very bad mix. So I stopped.
Wow. That's pretty cool.
Yeah. All it takes is a couple dents in your car, a couple things missing in your life. I always, it seemed I had an allergy to alcohol. Always broke out in jail.
Yeah.
That was
Oh my
some
goodness,
kind
that's funny. Oh
some
my
kind of
goodness.
allergic reaction.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, alcohol's not very. It's not a medicine. Let's just
Mm-mm.
say that for sure. But I
I
sure
wasn't
did
very good on
appreciate.
alcohol either.
No way.
No, I was mouthy.
That's the thing. That's the thing. You get 10 foot tall and bulletproof,
Yep.
couple beers in you, and you
Oh
always
no, I
have to
went for
sleep.
the hard stuff.
Oh yeah, eh?
You mean tequila was and lemon drops, but I haven't drank in 20, 30 years.
Right.
I put the
Nice.
bottle down just about that time, about 20 years ago.
Nice.
You
I
used
think
to
I
too.
he could have float a battleship. I swear.
Yeah. I used to I was on morphine for 30 years too, and I quit that about 3 years ago.
Awesome.
Freaking 100 milligrams 6 times a day. Yeah, that was always a good time.
Yeah. But
But
it
100
was
milligrams of
amazing.
what?
you know, I have to say this,
Yeah.
and this is by the grace of one. I
Yeah.
am still here. They keep
Yeah.
putting me back.
I keep ending up back
They,
here, for
they
God's
keep
sake.
putting me back there. I tell them I want to go home. They keep putting me back.
I had a beautiful, it was the middle of the afternoon last summer, and just as clear as day, I was told, okay, you're done. You don't have to return anymore.
Oh, nice.
And
Best letter ever.
I stood there for a few minutes going, go where? I guess I've been here 7 different times.
Right?
Yeah. I think hopefully, well, I probably will just see as it goes.
There's no promises made. Day by day, for crying out loud.
Day by day.
Oh no,
Yeah.
Aisha, you were asking about that solar farm. I got a video across my page today. One guy was talking about June or July of next year that
Okay.
we're going to have two choices, either to stay in the 3D or the 5D. But then he also said that it might be later on towards the end of October or November,
Okay.
but we are going to have the choice of that. So I'm going for 5D. I don't care, man. And
I'm working
also
on that.
about the solar flash, I've also been told that
Wow.
we had back in 84 or 85, the solar flash happened and everybody went to sleep. And we slept for like 9 days.
Yeah, yeah.
But
Yeah, the
when
Ion Wednesday.
when we woke up, it was like we just woke up the next day.
Yeah.
Right.
That's supposed to be what happens this time around too.
But we get to
And
stay awake while everybody else is asleep.
Yeah, because I want to be
Yeah.
conscious. I'm tired of missing out. I wasn't born
Yeah.
on the first one, though.
That's a fact.
I hear that.
Like
My
I
boy
literally,
said, "Well, geez, Dad, if that happens, then all these people that aren't with us, they're all gonna pass. Does that mean that we get to go and just start opening doors and take what we want when you know?"
Where's the nearest
"Oh,
bank?
Dad, no."
Yeah.
He says, "Well, we're at war, right?" He says, "Ain't the spoils of war for the victors? I mean, if we're
You
still
know it.
here and they're not, don't that mean that we get what they left behind?"
You know it.
So
You
I
know
don't know. Freaking all for one and one for all in my book.
you
it.
know how weird it is that we speak without being conscious of what we're saying, and then later on in life, when it happens, we're like, Wait, hold on. I was telling myself this like 5 years ago. I remember clearly saying to my husband over and over again, I want to be here when Jesus comes. I want to be here in the resurrection. I want to be here in the final time. I want to be here in the judgment day. He will always like, because he's in the Islamic medium. He always like, you don't want to be here for that. It's gonna be super scary. I'm like, I want to be here. I don't want to
Yeah,
miss
but I
it.
do want to be here.
You know.
Yeah.
And now we're here, and I'm just like, wait, like I've signed up for this before I came. That's why I kept repeating that over and over again.
Yeah.
So
Well, I
it's
don't mean to be rude. I have to go cook.
yeah.
Hang on
All
a
right,
second.
yeah.
Y'all, we're here for a reason. You know that. Every single one of us is a key player in this whole ascension process.
Yeah.
That's
Every
for sure.
single one of us.
That's for sure. Have fun cooking, Loretta. Yeah, yeah.
I
Nice to
will.
talk to you.
Thank you.
See you
Nice
later,
Awesome.
talking to you.
Yaya. I love you.
I love you too. I love you, Rob. I love you, Aisha.
You guys
I
are
just
great.
forgot
See you
your
later,
name.
yeah. Bye.
How do I get out
Awesome.
of here? Just click on it?
I think so. I think you click on your head there and then should give you the option to bug out.
To bug out.
There it is.
What?
Okay.
We back in Ash or what? Got to do a bug out. Pack
There's
everything
bug out. That's right. Or
up.
else you built these bunkers. You know the ones that don't go that don't have the door high enough so they get flooded when
Right.
the springtime comes and the thaws.
Right.
So all that you've ever saved for is now under freaking water. Oh
Right.
yeah. Anyway,
Robert, you
that's
have to go live,
ridiculous.
right?
I went this morning. I was going to go this evening, but I think I'm gonna pass. I think I'm gonna skip that and do one in the morning. Um,
Okay. Well, I'm gonna hit up here in about 11 minutes. So
Okay,
I'm
cool.
very
gonna
good.
read.
Oh, great stuff.
Excellent.
Awesome.
All right, family.
Okay.
Thank you for being here. Infinite love, love and light.
Nice.
Wait a
Hasta
minute.
luego, everybody.
Thank you for
Here.
coming. Bye.
Hey, hey,
Goody.
hey, hey.
Hey.
I know where y'all are at. I freaking
Ah,
lived up there. That's where I was born and raised, is up in the Northland. So I know the discomforts y'all have.
yeah. It's a
So,
little chilly sometimes, but we can deal with it.
yeah, that below kind of bites it sometimes, especially with that northerly. Hey,
Yes, yes. Depending on where you are, we're right by the river, so we don't get too much of that. If we were out in the country where you got nothing but flat lands, holy ripping.
oh,
That's for
that's where I
sure.
come from, is off the prairie in the Dakotas. Hey, get
Oh
that
my
north
God.
straight out from y'all's land, and I tell you. But anyway,
Right.
neither here nor
Okay.
there.
Thanks a lot, Isha, for having me this afternoon. I appreciate that.
Thank
Nice to
you,
talk to
Carol.
everybody.
Thank you, Kate.
Yeah,
Awesome.
Thank you, Loretta. Thank
I
you,
know.
family. Thank you,
Bye.
Marcus. Wait, this way.
Goody.
Bye.